Hello. We're back, and it's only May. um, we're much better than I actually thought we would be, and I think anyone else would have expected us to be. Um, we're actually above 500. We're sitting at 16 and 13. Sort of 2.5 games back of the wild card. Or 2.5 games back of Texas Rangers. Sorry. We've been pretty damn good. Our hitting our hitting hasn't been great, but our pitching and our defense has been phenomenal. Um, we may have actually won the Shaw Murphy trade, which I mean realistically we probably haven't, but I mean we sort of freed up space for Langoliers, who's been pretty good. He's got a positive OPS plus 114. Um, been a good catcher for us. He's on track for 30 runs. I mean, it's only been a month of the season so far, so I try not to get too ahead of myself. But it's looking good. Um, Carl Muller as well, been phenomenal. Striking out 12 batters per nine, only 3 walks per 9, home runs per 9 at 0.6. He's been phenomenal. He's already picked up 1.1 WAR. Um, it's looking good as a whole. But what I will say is we've actually run into a few issues. As you can I mean, money was always going to be an issue, but as you can tell here, we've only got 2.547 million to spend. That's going to be nowhere near enough for the draft. We're scheduled to pick sixth, and slot for that is going to be 7 million. We're going to have to find a way of getting some of this money back. We're probably going to need at least 10 million, and for that, salaries wise, we don't have a lot of players and a lot of money. We're gonna have to trade some of these guys here. But the best thing about that is actually, so if we go in and we have a look at our sort of pictures here, our worst couple of pictures have actually been Trevor May, who is our pretty much one of our highest paid players on 6 million. He's our closer and he's been awful. You know, conceding up nearly 3 home runs per 9, on track for minus 2.3 WAR. We can't keep him as our closer no matter what, really. And if we can trade him away to get some money, I mean, I know that them signing him for 6 million for this year, hopefully he'll perform. But with him being this bad, we'd trade him at the end with the trade deadline either way. I think to try and get some money, it's probably worth sort of trying to shift him and move him on. Um, so as we go into our lineups as well, I mean, our hitting hasn't been nowhere near as good. Estru Ruizo, another player from the uh, trade for Shaw Murphy. Average, I mean, he can't hit a lick. He doesn't hit the contact very much, but with a 106 OPS plus, he's hit a 1.1 WAR because his fielding is outrageous. I don't know how I didn't notice the first time around, but I'm considering moving him to centre field. He's got the range to play it. He's got a 70 outfield range, so I'm considering moving him to centre field. He's only 24, and the reason for that is because if we come across and have a look at Christian Pache, who, as much as he's a phenomenal fielder, he's an absolutely outrageous centre fielder. We cannot put up with this batting sort of profile here, with an OPS plus of 24 and a minus 0.7 WAR so far. If he's on track to hit a minus 4 WAR, we we cannot hack that. So what the plan is, I think, with that is I think I'm gonna move down Pache to AAA. I think I'm gonna move Ruiz to centre. And if we go through to our organisation here, we have a look at our players here. We have Laureano, who has came off the injured list. He's got a couple of games down in AAA. I think I'm going to move him back up to the majors. He was just sort of here just to sort of get a few games in, rather than sort of rushing him back. And then I can sort of move him, so I'd have Ruiz playing centre, I'm going to have Laureano playing right, Seth Brown and Connor Capel. I'm thinking as well of just straight up releasing Ryan Noda. Um, I can't relegate him down to AAA anyway, so I feel like I might as well just release him here. He's been piss poor, and as well as that, what I will say, Tyler Wade, as much as he isn't a prospect, really, him in he's been outrageous in AAA, and I feel like it might be worth just sort of bringing him up. However, sort of, through the infield, if we look at our lineups, I mean, Tony Kemp's actually been a bright spot for us. He's got 110 OPS plus. He's playing pretty well, if I'm honest. He is a free agent at the end of the year, though, so maybe if we can get anything for him sort of closer to the trade deadline. But yeah, really the main thing is here, really, we don't have any money at all. It's not going to be enough for the rookie draft. And in terms of that, the main ideas for this season are to sort of build our prospect pool up, build our farm system up, because we're not going to be able to sort of improve and build for a World Series in any way whatsoever unless we do sort of make major improvements to that. And what I will do here, actually, if I go to my owner goals here, what I was, one of our goals as well, we do want to follow this. We're not sucking completely. It's ideal. It's great if we can keep it this way. But we've actually dropped our farm system from 24th to 26th. They want us to be top 6 at the end of next year, and that's not going to happen unless we make major improvements. We've actually improved our fan interest, obviously, because we are playing a lot better, and obviously, to reach playoffs, that's a long-term goal here. So, I mean, what I will do is I'll sort of go through. I think I have a couple of trades sort of set up here. So if I did have a little look through. So if we go down to our trading block, pending, I have a couple of trades here. I had a little look through, and I mean, like I say, the main thing is getting some cash in. So the first trade here was Aledmus Diaz, Jacob Waters as well. He's pitching okay. He's pitching really well in A-ball, but he's 22. Not much going for him here, really. The control is not looking promising whatsoever. Nothing much to write home about. I don't mind getting rid of him. Domingo Acevedo, I think his name is. He's pitching well in AAA by the looks of it. ERA plus 134. But we have plenty of pitchers, especially if we can bring in back Braxton Garrett as well, who is a former first round pick. I mean, albeit in 2016. You never know if we can get more of what he did sort of last year. 17 starts, 3.58 ERA. With a 113 ERA plus. I mean, that'd be phenomenal if we can get that back from him. He's still on the minimum contract as well. And as well as that, obviously we're getting rid of Aledmus Diaz. I mean, the main thing is for this, he's on 8 million next year, 6.5 million this year, and he's putting up negative WAR already. I mean, this could improve. It's only a month through the season, but the thing is, he does have the ratings for it. He can improve a lot more than he has done so far. He's got the defensive sort of the defensive ratings here as well, but we need the money, and I think that's more important than anything here, so I'm more than happy to sort of make this trade and sort of offload him. It's more money more than anything. We can bring in Garrett. We have plenty of people in AAA who are doing well, who can come up. We can sort of make a few changes and sort of jig that around. It's not like he's the reason we're sort of doing well anyway, so we can sort of move him on here, really. So if I go through with that trade, and then the only other trade we had here is Trevor May. Obviously, we spoke about, he's been awful. It's not even like the BABIP's been outrageous. He's just been awful. He's nearly 3 home runs per 9. That cannot stay as it is. I mean, he's an extreme flyable pitcher. That may be one of the reasons for it, but we cannot have him as a closer. We can't bring him down, so we might as well just trade him and get the money back. In terms of that, we're also getting 500,000 cash as well. I didn't speak about on the other trade. We did get 1.5 million as well. So cash is more important than anything here. Blake Beers as well, been awful in Double A, 24 years of age, doesn't have the ratings for it. So I was fine with getting rid of him. And Sam Haggerty is just someone to throw into the trade. We'll see how he does this year in AAA. If he comes up, he comes up. But it was mainly sort of money shedding deal really, and he was all we could get. There wasn't any prospects available, so I thought we'd just take him. It's better than nothing. We can get rid of the cash and sort of bring some extra money in. So if we go ahead and do that, so those sort of two trades are submitted. I thought they would actually be done. It's not the same as OTP before. So what we'll do, we'll sort of advance through next couple of days, see how we get on, and then we can then I can go through and sort of make any changes and setups to the team from there. The only thing I was thinking about as well was Aguilar. He's our first baseman, and he's not hitting above an OPS plus of 100, which is not ideal really. The only thing with that is we don't really have any great first basemen to come up in his place. I mean, I say that, Jonah Pride, Cam, he doesn't hit for power though. He can play first base. He doesn't hit for power, which is the issue. And as well as that, Jordan Diaz here, he doesn't really hit for much power either. So the issue with that, we have two first basemen without much power behind them. So Trenton Brooks as well. I believe he can play a bit first. No, he cannot. So he's an outfielder. He's someone I thought about bringing up. Obviously, he's doing well in AAA here. But obviously with Aguilar, we don't want to trade him away if we've got no one to sort of come up. We've got Kevin Cron here as well, though. But he's not. I mean, he's only played a few games in sort of AAA so far, but he hasn't been playing well in those sort of limited sample size. So he's someone that we could sort of bring up in place of Aguilar if we did sort of trade him off. But what we'll do here is we will advance the next couple of days and sort of see if these sort of trade offers come back. So actually one of them didn't go ahead, which is actually really quite confusing. So this is done. Whichever May trade is done. Okay. So in terms of that, I mean, we're getting one. If we can try and reduce the cash, see what we can do here. I mean, it's pretty much on the limit in terms of being accepted here. I mean, he's a 25-year-old starter in high A, but still, 24-year-old pitcher in A ball. I'm really annoyed that didn't get through. Actually, I thought they're both accepted. I mean, it's about the cash. We're saving 6.5 million. We're gonna save 8 million next year, and we can bump that into the player development. If I put that in there, can we get any more cash? So if I bump that, I don't want to give up Zhang His movement is dire, but if he brings that along, there could be something here. He's 22 and he's in Double A, so not pitching well, but hmm. So I'll get this sorted, and I'll come back to you when I sort of got everything sorted and made it and sort of finish up with the trade. I'll come back to you then. And this is the deal I came up with. So it's 1.2 million in cash. Braxton Barrett as well. Braxton Garrett, sorry. Acevedo. I know I am now pronouncing that name correctly. Thanks, Joey. Um, Jacob Waters, Aledmus Diaz, Brady Basso. I mean, it's not ideal. Yeah, it's great to have the numbers in our system. We don't have a lot, but none of these are really going to offer us much, if I'm honest. So unless they really do come a long way, and we need a lot of luck for that to happen, really. But to get Garrett back, he is injured, which is not ideal. But we get him in next season. See if we can make the rotation. And in terms of that, it's just about getting that cash back, really, with the Ledmus Diaz. We need to save the cash. We need it for the draft, really. That's how we're going to improve. So I'm happy to go through and complete that trade. And now, the only issue is sort of, going back through our lineup, seeing who we can have to sort of come up, and sort of making a few adjustments here. So I'm going to go through and sort of edit the lineup and edit the pitching as well. We lost our closer in Trevor May, and then I'll sort of come back to you when I've got that all set up. So we're back, and so I've sort of made a change to the lineup, sort of edited them a bit. I didn't end up getting rid of the Pache. I don't know why he's set as a right fielder. He should be set as a centre, but he's just moved to the bench, really, as sort of a defensive sort of outfielder. I moved Esther Ruiz to centre field. He's got the defense for it. I think he's going to do a great job there. He's a great bat as well. As well as that, Laureano has came up from AAA. He's starting at right field now. Capel's still on left field. Tyler Wade has came up from AAA. He was doing phenomenal in AAA. He was batting. I mean, I know it's only 26 games, but he's batting 400, 436 on base, 630 slugging. For a 146 OPS plus, I thought I'd bring him up. He is a second baseman, but that third base rating will go up with sort of game time there. I do think he can do a job there. So give it a couple of weeks. He'll get his defense up to scratch. Jace Peterson, who is the other player we are playing, I say phenomenal amount of money. It's not a whole lot of money, in baseball terms, but for our team, I would love to get rid of him, but no one wants him. So he's just sort of going to stay on the bench for now, and see what we can do at a later date. Rule with him. If we can get rid of him, that'd be great. Aguilar, hopefully he picks things up a bit. If he doesn't, he's someone I can sort of see myself sort of trading for a bit more extra cash, even if it's closer to the deadline. Really, just make sure we sort of get it in before the rookie draft, because that's when we really need the money. In terms of that, I sort of kept things largely the same. Jordan Diaz will sort of get a bit more time. If we go to lefties, see, this is how I sort of changed it here. Really, Jordan Diaz is a bit better against lefties here. Hits for a bit more power as well. So hopefully he can do a job. He's not done too bad so far. I mean, in limited time, really. But hopefully we get him a few more sort of play appearances and see how he does, really. So if we go back, the one thing I also did want to discuss is if we go to a front office, I sort of look for next year. Our projected budget is only 4 million more. So it's not looking ideal, really, in terms of sort of improving our budget. So hopefully we can sort of have a relatively decent year this year in terms of sort of our record, and hopefully that in turn sort of improves our budget. Obviously, we get more people in the park, we get more money, and hopefully they improve the budget sort of in regards to that. But that's sort of the changes I've made with the lineup. And then if we come into the pitching, I've actually moved Fujinami from a start. I mean, as you can see, he's been awful. Um, I moved him into a closer role. Hopefully he does a bit better in the bullpen. If he picks things up again, maybe we can sort of look at him as a starter at a later date. But I'm just sort of seeing, hopefully we can do a bit better in the bullpen for now. And I've moved Nabil Krismat into sort of the starting rotation. He's actually someone who he picked up from waivers, claiming him from waivers. So that was quite a good pickup. He's done it. I mean, he hasn't pitched much, but I thought I'd give him a go. See how he does. Worst comes to worst, he can come back to the bullpen. We can sort of give someone else a shot. We got Rosinski, who can sort of play as a starter. We've got Ken Waldershuk or Chuck. He definitely is someone we should give a go as a starter, but he's doing so well in the bullpen at the moment. I thought I'd leave him at there. See if we can go the season under his belt, and then we can sort of give him a go as a starter really from there. But that's sort of all of that set up. And then in terms of sort of the rest of this, Hernandez, he's one of our better prospects. He's doing great in Double A. I've actually thought, in terms of moving Tyler Wade up, I'm going to move him up to Triple A. Lawrence Butler, I moved up from High A. He's doing great in High A, so I sort of moved him up really there. And then the only other, if we come to minors, the only other people I was thinking of moving up was Denzel Clark. He's doing phenomenal, but I sort of looked at his ability in Double A. I think we're in Texas League. His contact and avoid Ks are still dire, really. So I'm going to sort of leave him here for now. Hopefully we can get his contact up a little bit, and then I'll sort of move him up to Double A, see what he does from there. But other than that, I mean, Brian Bualvas been phenomenal and able. Only 21 games, but he's only 20 years old, so I don't want to move him up too fast. Max Muncy as well in High A. He's only 20 years old. I don't want to move him up to Double A really yet. But we've got some good players coming along really. But what we'll do is we will actually jump through and have a go through a few games here. First up, we got Seattle. Paul Blackburn pitching. Seattle, similar to us. I mean, our division's been relatively good as a whole, other than the Angels, who have been horrendous. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and this is what they can put together is an embarrassment, really. But if we skip through this, so we got Seattle first. We get 6-3 win, which is a great start. I mean, Brown, I don't think I spoke about him really, but he's had a phenomenal sort of start to the year over the first month. 360 on base nearly, 155 OPS plus. If he can keep this up, that'd be great for us really. Capel had 4 hits, 3 RBIs for Brown. Obviously had the homer. 2 walks for Kemp. 2 hits for Estru Ruiz. He's hit batting 208 at the moment, a 110 OPS plus. We'll see how he gets on over the rest of the season. We've got Robbie Ray. See how we get on against them. 8-5 loss. Langoliers, 2 hits for Diaz, 2 hits for Kemp. Aguilar with a homer. Homer for Teoscar Hernandez. Blackburn played in this game. Okay. Well, Spencer Turnbull's sort of scheduled to play in this game at least. I have no. Well, we're playing today against Kansas. Okay, that's really quite. I have no idea what's just happened there. But we're up to 17-14. 5-1 loss. Carl Muller, okay, he's been phenomenal. Against Brad Keller, 5-4 loss, not ideal. Who's that? Twisted ankle for Langoliers. No, day-to-day injury like that, I do just tend, I mean, is rolling the dice a little bit, but I do just tend to leave it at that and hope for the best. It's only a day-to-day injury, I'll leave it at that. But we're skip past. We'll sort of play the rest of the series out, and we'll play sort of the rest of the Yankees series. And I'll probably skip to the end of the month, and we'll sort of collect things from there. But up against Jordan Lyles, first of all, 10-1 win. How did that go? Who pitched in that? Chris Matt pitched 7 innings, 4 hits, only 1 run. Scored on him. Kemp with a homer. 2 hits for Kemp, 2 hits for Ruiz, 2 hits for Capel, 3 hits for Brown, 2 hits for Laureano. He's only a few games, but he's had a good little start. Poor Tyler Wade hasn't been great. Hopefully he picks it up a little bit. It's only been a few games. Right, so up against Garrett Cole. That's a win. We'll take that. Alright, so Sam Haggerty. I didn't get round to that, so we're moving down to AAA. Braxton Garrett as well is 60-day IL. So there's a 5-4 win against New York there. Against the Yankees, Ruiz with a couple of hits, Langoliers with 4 RBI. Home run for him. JP Sears, 3 runs and 5 innings. Garrett Cole got 8 hits, 5 runs, scored, all of them scored on him there, so I'll take that. Who up against here? Nestor Cortez tomorrow. Paul Blackburn again, seems to be. 7-0 loss, that's not ideal whatsoever. 4 runs in 2.1 innings, that's awful. Not much in the way of offense really either. Langler's had 2 hits and 2 at-bats. At-bats, he obviously had 3 plate appearances, obviously he's got the walk there as well. Rizzo with a homer. Yeah, not ideal at all there. If we jump down to the home, up against Severino here, Spencer Turnbull. Have a look how this goes. See how this one goes. 12-0 loss. Okay, that is. So had a couple of bad games there against the Yankees. That's not ideal at all. But let me have a look how this went first. That's okay. Offensively, that was outrageous. Awful, really, from us. Severino pitched phenomenally. He doesn't seem to have a good season either. Rizzo with 2 homers. Peraza, Ortega. They just lit us up, to be honest, and we couldn't hit anything ourselves. So that was, just as bad as it could get. But what we'll do here is our sort of run through to the end of the month, and we're sort of collect up there. Right, so we're back. It's June 1st, and somehow we still haven't tailed off yet. I'm trying not to get too carried away. It's only a couple of months into the season. We're battling it out with the Mariners, really, for first place. I don't know what I've done. I don't know how this has happened, but it's for not. We're coming off a 15-0 loss to the Braves though, which is pretty horrendous. Laureano had a couple of hits, but who got lit up? Oof. Turnbull was awful. He's definitely the weakest starter. In the rotation, he's someone that we should probably. Well, I know I did trade for him. Maybe sort of move him into the bullpen, see if he does any better there. If I pop over to I'll sort of show you sort of where we're at in regards to our, there you go, our batting. Sorry about that. I just had to pop off and do something quickly. Well, as I was saying, our hitting has got a lot better. Pache's, I mean, he hasn't played much since I sort of benched him. He hasn't been playing much, but that's not good to look at. But I didn't want to. I can't send him down. He has no more options left. I didn't want to DFA him because I feel like he would definitely get taken in with that sort of those defensive ratings. You know, the potential for his bat to eventually come around. I didn't want to risk that. Risk out on losing him really there. But you know, other than that, you know, we've had some really good batters this year. You know, I mean, so far this season, I mean, Kemp's sort of league average. Aguilar's actually turned it around a little. He's batting 350 on base, 760 OPS, 111 OPS plus. Isn't quite hitting for the power we'd like him to at the moment, but hopefully that sort of comes around. Tyler Wade since coming up. I mean, he was absolute killer in AAA, but he's been phenomenal. I say phenomenal. He's been really good in MLB as well. The power hasn't sort of translated, but he's good on base and he's hitting for average. You know, 115 OPS plus in that time since he's come on. I mean that's phenomenal. Really, I'd take that all day long. And Seth Brown as well, 118 WRC plus, 119 OPS plus. Shea Langoliers, he's the best batter in the team, really. I mean, obviously with Sean Murphy gone, there's sort of freed up space for him to come in. And obviously he's a power hitter. He's on track to hit 30 home runs at the catcher position, the 125 OPS plus, and he plays pretty good defense as well. So he's definitely someone who actually could look to build around, really, at the 8 if he continues his production at least. As well as that, Jonah Bryce just came up. We did have a couple of injuries to speak of. If I pop over to the injured list here, Chris Matz, unfortunately, he's out 3 months. He'd been a very good pitcher for us. Jordan Diaz, though, he got injured. And same as Jace Peterson, and that was why, as we spoke about previously, Tyler Wade come up. And but Jonah Bryce came up. And as well as that, Kevin Cron, I did bring him up as well. He's only played 6-7 games, so that's such a small sample size. We'll see sort of how that goes. Hopefully he picks up a little bit. But in pitching, we still got Blackburn starting, Carl Muller, Turnbull, JP Sears, and I brought up Joe Wyland. The stuff is poor, but it's good control. He has 5 pitches. He's a fan favourite, and he'd actually been, pitching relatively well in AAA, so there wasn't really anything else for us to sort of, bring up. So, starter-wise, I mean, I probably could bring up I didn't really think about it, actually. I could probably move Waldichuk across, but we'll see how that goes. We actually have a few people sort of in the minor league systems who are sort of, playing well. Soderstrom, he's batting very well, actually. He's on track for 32 homers in AA. 27th ranked prospect, 856 OPS, 110 OPS plus. Looking like a very good hitter. Lawrence Butler as well. He's batting well again in AA after batting, phenomenally in high A. As well as that, Roybus Salinas, not as well. ERA's very, very high. But what I will say, because I did actually get the the player development update, monthly player development update through, and there was quite a bit of improvement actually. Elliot Clark sort of improved a bit. Denzel Clark, Brennan Malone, Max Muncy is okay. Max Muncy is looking like a top prospect of ours. He's in high 8. He's still only 20. I mean, he's going to be 21 next year. Starting next season, he's nearly 21. But he's batting 320, 444, 683, a 180 OPS plus. I mean, I probably should move him up to double A, but he's still only 20. I don't want to push him too hard. Great personality as well to go with it. But as well as him, a couple of people I was actually impressed by was Roy Salinas. Stuff's gone up, movement's gone up, potential movement's gone up, stamina's improved, his velocity's improved. He's really, really coming along. He's another player who was involved in that Sean Murphy trade, so we're really coming out on top on that with obviously our centre fielder Estru Ruiz. We made space for Langoliers. Obviously we got Salinas as well. It's looking like a really, really good trade for us actually. And we got Freddie Tarnock as well. Carl Muller obviously has been playing well. But then as well as that, this is the player who's probably been most impressing me really, is Gage Workman, who's up in AAA. We did trade for at the start of the season. He's got an OPS plus 129, playing a good shortstop defense, and something like that we would absolutely love up in the majors. I mean, if there's space for him this year, I mean, Nunez is sort of playing very good defense still, but we can definitely make space for this. He's a fly ball hitter. He hits for power at the shortstop position, and he has good defense with it. He's definitely someone who can be really, really good for us in the MLB, in sort of the major league team, really. So, really, I'll probably leave it with that. I mean, we got a lot of development coming along, sort of in our minors and stuff. I sort of did put together a little list of our top prospects together here. I mean, potential isn't showing much, but with their actual ratings and a lot of these players, that they really can improve and sort of potentially look to do something in the majors for us along the line. But it's actually it's looking a lot better than I thought it would at this point. I mean, as well as that, we did obviously with those trades make a lot more sort of space and money available for that rookie draft. So we can definitely make some moves during the draft. We won't be able to go over slot with anyone, but we'll at least have sort of a bit more flexibility to sort of do things with that. And what I'll probably do now is I'll probably play on with everything, and we'll sort of I'll catch up with all you guys. Probably we'll come back probably around the sort of the rookie draft, sort of get that done sort of next episode, and then we can sort of go on from there. But thank you very much for watching though, and I do appreciate the comments on the last video as well. I do reply to every comment. I say every comment. There's a few comments that will be made, if any. But thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you enjoy the video. If you did, please subscribe and do drop a comment down below. But I'll see you next episode.